You have a right to be informed. It's demonstrations like at Star Wars themed protests are increasingly necessary because there's an ongoing effort to shut down all public discussions about vaccines and their side effects. As an increased number of vaccinations are added to the childhood schedule, according to Barbara Rose Fisher, co-founder and president of NVIC, quote, for children born in America in 1983, the federal government recommended 23 doses of 7 vaccines given between 2 months and 6 years old. Today, child vaccination schedule is 69 doses of 16 vaccines given between the day of birth and age 18, with 50 doses administered before age 6 at a current price tag of more than $3,000 per child. For children born in America in the years to come, the vaccine list and cost could double or triple. The World Health Organization is encouraging drug companies to fast track more than a dozen new priority vaccines to market for children, pregnant women, and adults. And you can be sure industries will lobby government to mandate all of them. Respiratory viruses, Streptococcus A and B, HIV, herpes, simplex viruses, gonorrhea, E. coli, salmonella, tuberculosis, malaria, and more. Where is the science evidence to support the assumptions that forcing everyone to use more and more vaccines to and typically mandate our immune system and repeatedly provoke inflammatory responses in our bodies throughout life will produce better health for all? This is precisely the point and the reason why vaccine choices is necessary, one that denies the freedom that U.S. was founded upon. Now as you get into one of the most powerful videos ever seen, but you have to go to the website. But basically, what you want to do is contact NVIC. It's www.nvic.org. Because we got to fight. Got to keep on fighting and keep on fighting. You know there's chemtrails. You see them jets in the air with the little trails of white smoke. It's loaded with chemicals. Some of them even mercury. Some of them even tested. Will mercury mess up your brain? Hitler used chlorine and fluoride in the water to dumb down the people. So he run his program. When we rioted in the 60s, they tripled the amount of chlorine in the water so we wouldn't riot no more, to dumb down the people. And they haven't reduced that amount. Because I remember when I was a kid, we couldn't go in and out the house get no water in the summertime. You had to get water from the hose if you get thirsty. We never smelled chlorine, fluoride, none of that. Now you wash your hands, you can smell the stuff. A 10-minute shower in that tap water is equivalent to drinking a half a gallon of tap water with the chlorine, the fluoride, and who knows what else drug they have in there. The antidote, I believe, And what we have seen over and over again is minerals. Minerals, minerals, minerals. The Aquaman Boost is one source of minerals. The noni juice is another source of minerals. See, the noni got over 150 nutraceuticals to counteract what they're doing and flooding the body with these drugs that haven't been tested, approved. I mean, that lady, her child had 16 seizures, and you still want to give the child a shot? You gave a child one shot and got 16 seizures, and that's not enough to tell that child needs to be exempt from any more shots? Is you crazy? Or just killers? So that's the fight. That's the fight. That's just one of the fights. Becoming conscious, getting the iodine in. See the iodine? You can got your DOS flakes. You got some of your seafoods, the spirulina. Look for your sources of iodine, and that's the iodine that Mother Nature make. We have one in Healthwise called Detoxidine. This company get it from 700 feet below the surface area, so it's way beyond organic. It's to enhance our immune system and get that chlorine and fluoride and other poisons out of our body, neutralize it so no become non-effective, based on the research that Dr. Group has done. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, listening. We're still get those 5 hugs a day. I know I say 5, but they 10. Us touching one another, sending love from one another, also is a great way of promoting love and healing. God has not forsaken us. We have that healing powers. And praying and is talking to God, meditation is a very powerful way of promoting healing in the body. Visualizing yourself healthy first thing in the morning and last thing at night. It's very powerful. They teach that people have prayed diseases out of other people and prayed diseases out of themselves. They teach that in medical school. So that is very powerful. And those are some of the things we need to do to counteract this onslaught, this attack. This is Mikael from Healthwise Enterprise, the health food store that's located at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan, between Ryan and DeQuinda, and we're there to service you 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7. And you can call us directly at the store, 586-757-DIET. Again, that's 586-757-3438. Our old number still works, 313-366-DIET. And you can always reach me on the cell phone, 313-600-8532. Well, this is another subject that I haven't talked about in the past, is depression. And folks deal with depression all the time for various reasons. And I wanted to first start off about the 10 signs of depression, because some folks may be in denial. And then hopefully we can get into some solutions for depression, okay? Just want to say it's remarkable that all the things that black folks have been through, especially over the past 400 years, that we still here. It's think about just how strong we really are. And you have that strength because we are the original people. I should say we have that strength because we are the original people. No matter what is put on us, we still here. We still persevere. So it's in our DNA to deal with depression. Some things, these 10 signs of depression. I just wanted to point them out to you. Um, Depression is a fairly common mood disorder that impact more than 300 million people across the globe. The complex conditions have mental and physical symptoms that can interfere with effective individual ability to function day to day. Recognizing the signs that depression can help people with depression and their loved ones understand their conditions and seek help. One of them is persistent sadness. Overwhelming and persistent sadness is common in people with depression. They may experience a sense of hopelessness that make it difficult to see the good in life, to see taking lemons and taking into lemonade. Minor inconveniences can seem like enormous obstacles they cannot overcome. This feeling makes it difficult to carry out meaningful activities due to overwhelming feeling of worthlessness and hopelessness. I was like, whoa. Number 2, I can't get past these little ads here. Self-loathing. People who are depressed often turn their misery inward. They might doubt that they can do anything right or are often critical of themselves. This can lead to frustration, which can precipitate the downward spiral. When low self-esteem and self-loathing are combined, suicidal thoughts might occur, which can lead to self-harm. Okay, number 3 sign. Loss of interest of activities. A loss of interest in favorite activities often affect people with depression. Lack of focus can make tasks difficult, leading to reduced performance, which bring the persons back to the negative self-thought process. Lack of libido can hinder intimacy or render it non-existent, impacting personal relationships. Number 4 sign of depression: irritability and isolation. Okay, people with depression often feel unable to act in a social appropriate manner. Irritability can make them difficult to be around, as they may be short-tempered or seem obstinate silence. This can prompt them to isolate themselves from others or cause adequacies to interpret their actions as lack of interest in continue relationships. Avoidance of other people can lead to a sense of isolation that worsen the symptoms of depression. Anxiety, number 5. Low self-worth can lead to anxiety. In fact, almost half of people with depression also experience anxiety. A person with depression may often worry about his or her personal and professional future. He may feel certain that he is likely to fail at both. Feelings of anxiety can actually fade, but this could indicate the individual has given up altogether. Number 6, loss of energy. Lack of energy can occur due to sadness and other factors such as insufficient sleep caused by anxiety. This can lead to fatigue in severe cases. When combined with poor concentration, fatigue further hampers work and personal relationships and can lead to a downward spiral if, for example, these symptoms result in retirement or loss of a job. And number 7, disturbed sleep patterns. People with depression can develop abnormal sleep patterns and often struggle with insomnia and frequent awakening throughout the night. This make other symptoms seem worse or give individuals more time to dwell on them. A person who is depressed may sleep more than normal and stay in bed for an unhealthy amount of time. Lethargic or lack of hope may make it seem impossible to get out of bed. Number 8. Okay. A change in appetite. Ooh-wee. A change in appetite and body weight. Change in appetite is common in people with depression who may undertake being eating or lost their appetite altogether. This can result in considerable weight loss or weight gain. This symptom can further exacerbate feelings of self-loathing. The medication used to treat depression can also cause weight change, usually a weight gain. And number 9, reckless behavior. Some people with depression engage in high-risk behavior as a way of temporary relief from mental anguish. An individual may spend money fearlessly or embark on dangerous adventures, carelessly sleep with multiple partners, or develop a substance abuse issue through loved ones would worry about these signs and might seek to discuss the problem. This can result in angry reactions and prove inefficient. And number 10, suicidal tendencies. People with depression may spend a significant amount of time thinking about self-harm and could be preoccupied with death. The reckless tendencies may experience can increase the likelihood of deliberate or accidental self-harm. Individuals preoccupied with these thoughts should seek professional help. Now, I know this brother who is a professional psychiatrist. His name is, of course, Dr. Kelly. Let me see. I looked this up, of course. And, of course, here we go. So, to get professional help from Dr. Kelly, this is a brother, you can call 810-620-6927. Again, it's Dr. Kelly. It's a brother. His number is 810-620-6927. To do some looking at this from a nutritional point of view, I ran across some different methods that me personally I use. One, of course, into the noni juice. 2 is into B complex vitamins. Okay, this one here is B12 because vegetarians have a tendency not to get enough B12 because people get B12 from beef, but if you're not going to eat the beef, then B12 supplements is a real good way of keeping your body cool, calm, and collected. Matter of fact, what I really get into is the Ultimate Classic, but I didn't have my bottle with me. But I really, really love Ultimate Classic because it has all the B vitamins in it at a higher level than more so than what the government recommends. At Healthwise, we've had people who come in there that was depressed and didn't want to take the drugs and medication because that leads to other complications. And they've taken the B complex vitamins. Most people take one a day. Some people have taken 2 a day, and it just seemed to just calm them right on out. And other things is like meditation. If getting into meditation is taking a deep breath. And when I'm talking about a deep breath, so your lungs hold almost a gallon of oxygen. And breathing in slowly, a count of 7, 8 seconds through your nose. And when your lungs is full, your abdomen should expand out, not your shoulders shouldn't go up, but your abdomen should expand out. You take one more sip and then breathe out slowly, a count of 7, 8 seconds till it feel like your lungs is touching your spine. Okay, that's a complete breath. Doing that, I've seen people in Healthwise that just did one deep breath, how they calm down, and just to show them, and then taking a minute's worth, like 4 of those, is go from 100% stressed out. The one deep breath seemed to just take them down to 75, and doing it for a minute takes them down to 50, or maybe even less than that. So you can imagine doing 5 minutes of that. And then, and if really you get serious, doing 20 minutes of that in the middle of the day. Even starting your day off with that. And you just come out of a sleep state and then go into a meditation, doing that deep breathing. And I like to visualize how I like my day to be. Just fantasize, dream, okay, that first thing in the morning. It's remarkable how when you set your day up how you want it to be, a lot of those things happen because we are God's children. And God is the ultimate creator. And we have that ability to create. I learned this a long time ago, maybe 30 years ago, okay, that if you can accept everything that happened into your life that you created, good or bad, then that puts you in the driver's seat. That puts you in a position of power that the things that happen to you created. And you can, it's bad things happen to us that we create to let us know the good things that we really want. So it's all matters. And it's like if every day was a sunny day and beautiful like it was yesterday and like it predicted to be today, the weather-wise and things, it would be boring. Okay, so we want to have some rainy days, some stormy days, some snowy days, all 4 seasons. That's one reason I love Michigan, because we get all 4 seasons. And it gives us a variety, puts us in a position to create the things that we really want. And in giving love, you can't outdo God. You can't outdo God. You give love regardless, unconditionally. The love come back not maybe from that person, but from 10 other sources. Okay, by way of God, because God uses people to get the message across. This latest thing I found out in nutrition aspects is this product here called lithium orelate. It is a trace mineral, and people have taken it and noticed how their mood have changed. So hopefully we can get into more details. Okay, and Dr. McCullough here gives alternative treatment of effects on depression. Some of the highlights of this article: there are many alternatives to antidepressant drugs for treating depression, including nutritional interventions like therapy and exercise and more. These I all agree with. Those who exercise, you release these endorphins in your body that makes you feel good, or some people make you feel better. Either way is a step towards that love, that happiness. Okay, a depressed person can go into an angry state. That makes you feel good because at least you are releasing some of that build up depression, getting from depression to angry. It's the goal is to be happy, to be loved. Well, no, unconditionally, God loves you no matter what you do. That's in itself is reassuring. Or if you want to call the universe or Allah, Ra, whatever. Among patients with treatment-resistant depression, all of them experience improvement in symptoms 1 week after receiving a single doses of this drug they got out called a magic mushroom. Half of them were no longer depressed 5 weeks after post-treatment. I've never seen a drug that didn't have harmful side effects. Now, they call this a magic mushroom. I really didn't get into what that was all about. I guess because I'm anti-drugs. Okay, because drugs man-made. God made the mushroom. I wanted to know what that particular mushroom was because I never heard of that, but I didn't. They got this drug that you have to call a physician, and if he deemed you're depressed enough, he'll give you this this drug. Okay. My thing, like I say, but if I had experienced myself, because I've had depressive conditions that I use these exercises to deal with. I use the B vitamins to deal with. I use the meditation to deal with. And my focus on being happy. I focus on taking the lemons and making them into lemonade. It's just to feel good. See, I can't control what people do or don't do to me, but I can control my response to them. And it always reminds me when I worked a 9 to 5. During the riots, we raised all this hell. And anyway, I got this job out in the suburbs when I was 18. It's the first time in my life I've been around so many white folks. But my father taught me, go in there and focus on your job, doing what you to do. And he taught me, and plus being around black folks, whatever you're going to do it good. Okay? And the other key thing he said, you work for yourself. You don't work for them, you work for you. And you put your stamp on anything you do, and you not only just do it twice as good, but you want to put your stamp on. You want to be proud of what you do. And in doing that, it kept me out of the trickery that they would plan at the field. The main thing is I wasn't responding to their tricks because I was focused on my job and what I wanted to do and did good at it. And when I put my name on something, I was proud of it. That attitude of being not responsive, okay, but being active is still way I live my life today. Of course, I get off course. I'm human, but my focus is to stay on course, to be active rather than reactive. Reactive, somebody manipulating you. Being active, you are in charge. It's key dealing with commercials. They telling you all these lies about eat this food, eat that food, eat 3 and 4 times a day. But being in a meditative state, you realize, you ask the question, are they telling the truth? And you know before you can get the question out your mouth that they're lying. That's why we call it tell-lie vision. Magnesium supplements also lead to improvement in mild to moderate depression in adults, with beneficial effects occurring within 2 weeks of treatment. Taking magnesium, 1,000 milligrams of it. Now, to help with the magnesium absorption, we need calcium, and to help with the calcium absorption, we need vitamin D3. We even find that vitamin D3 helps deal with the depression. And that's, like Oprah said in her magazine, 9 years ago, 10,000 IUs, international units of vitamin D3 a day. Now, Dr. McCullough introduced us to K2, and that's 200 micromilligrams of K2. I call that the big four. Magnesium, calcium, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2. All of those help with depression because you feed in the body the nourishment, so the chances of you getting depressed is less. Along with the B vitamins, it takes you nutritionally out of that depressed state. Now, it's 3 parts. It's like what we teach at Healthwise. Is the mind, body, and spirit. It's probably more parts than that, but let's keep it simple. Mind, body, and spirit. Well, those products help feed the body the nourishment to help keep cool, calm, and collected. The meditation help changes your mind. The information help changes the mind. Meditation is very spiritual because we got 1 mouth and 2 ears. To me, that's a hint, hint, clue, clue. We should do more listening than talking. And meditation is a sign of listening to your higher self. See, that 20 minutes of deep breathing, I count, okay? Because when you meditating, all these different thoughts come up. But if I'm counting, they help keep me focused on the meditation. If there's a noise around, like here is the air conditioning noise, just focus on that. I've gone to the park where there's children playing, and I just listening to the children playing with their happiness. I'm going to the park and just listen to the birds singing early in the morning. Just in springtime, they waking up the leaves out of the winter. Okay, it is different little sounds, even to the point of the heartbeat. You can feel it. It just keeps you in that meditative state. And somewhere along that 20 minutes, you get this wisdom. It's your higher self speaking to you. Slow down enough where you can hear that still small voice, which is with us all the time. When we slow down and do the meditation every day, you get into what we call a constant state of meditation. You become conscious, and a conscious person is in control versus unconscious, then you're able to be manipulated, which is what the powers to be want. They don't want thinking people. You've seen the signs, the most dangerous species on the planet is a thinking black man. Well, that's the thinking black woman, a thinking brown, thinking period people. You start thinking, you realize how is I'm gonna let what less than 1/6 of a percentage of a skin color determine my whole life. That's falling for the okie doke. That's what the chlorine, the fluoride in the water clogs up the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, which is your connection to your higher self, is all about. I just recently learned, we talked about how Hitler used chlorine and fluoride to dumb down the people so he can run his program on them. When we raised all that hell in the 60s with riots, they tripled the amount of chlorine in the water here. And I thought about it. I said, man, that's so true. Because when I was growing up in the 50s, we couldn't go in and out the house. We get thirsty, we go cut the water hose and drink from the water hose. We never smelled chlorine. But after the 60s, you can wash your hands and smell that stuff. And now, 50-something years later, it's like out of control. That's why we had the water at Healthwise. And we also have the iodine that help break up that fog that people have in their brain from the chlorine and fluoride. Nearly 7% of U.S. adults suffer from a depression episode in the past year, while worldwide over 350 million people suffer from depression, making it a leading cause of disability. Despite this, only about 1/3 of Americans with depression get treatment, which puts the remaining 2/3 left untreated at increased risk of suicide with a lower quality of life. We want you to be happy at Healthwise. We want you to be happy in your life, period. That's when we talk about the 5 hugs. Because the powers that we have being God's children, when we hug one another, we transfer some of that love. And it's good to give. Because when you give, you put yourself in position to receive 10% more than you gave from the Creator, the ultimate Creator, God. People struggling with untreated depression are twice as likely to die as those without depression and have worse outcomes from other health conditions. But while it's clear that treating depression is important, the first recommended treatment is usually a combination of antidepressant drugs and psychotherapy. That's usually the case in this country. Man over God. The drugs and the therapy versus dealing with natural foods. See, B vitamins, the brown rice, millet, is rich in B vitamins, a food source to keep you cool, calm, and collected. Especially black rice. It's so rich. Of course, it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. How much is your body worth? They used to have this movie called $6 Million Man. Our bodies are worth more than $6 billion. And we gonna go put some cheap McDeath food into our body, a burger killer into our bodies? No, no, no. There's good reasons to think twice before taking antidepressant drugs. However, as they may increase the risk of other health problems and their effectiveness is questionable. This is where alternative treatment for depression can be a valuable lifesaver, helping people with depression to regain their physical and mental health using safe, drug-free approaches. Antidepressants lead to diabetes, heart attacks, dementia. If you're considering antidepressant drugs, you're setting yourself up for diabetes, heart attacks, dementia, which dementia means your lack of independence. Who wants that? They depend on somebody else to take you anywhere, even to wipe your butt. If you're considering antidepressants, it's important to know what you're getting into before deciding on them as a treatment, especially since they often prescribe for long periods with no end in sight. To keep you on the drugs forever? Come on. For instance, antidepressant users have an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, even after adjusting for other risk factors like body mass index, gaining weight. Antidepressant users are often linked to thicker arteries, which could contribute to a risk of heart disease and strokes. Clogging up your arteries, your heart is pumping the blood through all your arteries, and you're taking the antidepressant drugs, makes it harder for your body to get the nourishment through way of your blood because the arteries is thick from taking the antidepressant drugs. The results of a study of 513 twin veterans presented at the American College of Cardiology meeting in New Orleans, this was in 2011, found that antidepressant use results in greater the lining of the arteries, the main arteries in your neck that feed blood to the brain. It thickens them. This was true both for selective selenium reuptake inhibitors and antidepressants that affect other brain chemicals. Now, we ain't saying nothing about the second brain that's like in your guts. So that's another nourishment that we call it the friendly bacteria. Don't have example of that here on stage, but at Healthwise we do. It's called probiotics and prebiotics. We call them Jawodophilis. We have them at Healthwise. The probiotics help keep you cool, calm, and collected. They help keep your immune system up high. So your immune system should be 80% friendly bacteria. Most Americans, the immune system is 80% harmful bacteria. Taking the probiotics help turn that around from 80 harmful to 80 beneficial. And that, your gut, the second brain, helps feed your number one brain. It's a connection between your guts to your brain and your nervous system. That's one reason they call it the second brain. There's other factors too, but there's a lot of details in all of that. Further, the use of antidepressant is also associated with increased risk of heart attacks, especially for users of tricycle antidepressants who have a 36% increased risk of heart attacks. Meanwhile, the drugs are also linked to dementia, with researchers noting treatment with SSRI. Remember, that's the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRI, and the MIO, which is hexacyclic antidepressants, and other antidepressants are associated with an increased risk of dementia. As the doses increase, so do the risks. The drugs are also known to deplete various nutrients from your body, including coenzyme Q10, vitamin B12. Okay, in the case of tricyclic antidepressants, which are needed for proper mitochondrial functions. That's the motor of your whole body and the cellular level. The mitochondria, that's the engine. And taking the drugs interfere with your engine, with your life force. SSRI may deplete iodine and fluoride, which is another B vitamin, from your body. It's interesting. Now, God set up you take the B vitamins to help keep you cool, calm, and collected. Then they give you these drugs to take the B vitamins out of your body. They said put you in even the further depressive state because you don't have the nourishment. We're not lacking drugs. We're lacking nourishments. The things that God made. See, God made the B vitamins. They can't patent that because God got that patent. Perhaps more importantly, studies have repeatedly shown antidepressant works no better than placebo for mild to moderate depression. So you're taking serious risks for a very small chance of benefits. Importantly, there are other options available. I'm just going to skip past this drug that they mention in here and get right into the things that God made, which is the magnesium, the omega-3s, the B-complex vitamins. Another alternative to the antidepressant could come in the form of magnesium supplements. Researchers published in PLOS1 revealed that magnesium supplements led to improvement in the mild to moderate depression in adults, with beneficial effects occurring within 2 weeks of treatment. It works quickly and is well tolerated without the need for close monitoring for toxicity, the researchers said. Magnesium acts as a catalyst for mood regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin. See, that's one reason I like that noni so much, because it gives your body what it needs to make serotonin, which is the source of energy in the daytime, and melatonin at night. Research published in 2015 also revealed a significant association between very low magnesium intake and depression, especially in young adults. Beyond magnesium, the animal-based omega-3 fats, which we need every day, based on research, based on what God set up, omega-3. Some people get it from fish. Me personally, I like the salmon, especially the wild-caught Alaskan salmon. But every day I'm taking either the seeds, either the chia seed, the hemp seed, or the flax seed. Some form of omega-3s every day. I did that for like 15 years when I without fish. But then when I added back into my life, it made such a big difference. So now I take all of them, the seeds and the fish, because omega-3 from the fish is different from omega-3 from the seeds. I find that my body works best with both of them. And here we talk about how important it is in dealing with depression. The 2001 book, Omega-3 Connection, written by Harvard psychiatrist Dr. Andrew Scholl, was among the first works to bring attention to and support the use of omega-3 fatty acids for depression. And they have been shown to lead to improvements in major depression disorders. Making sure you're getting enough omega-3 in your diet, either from wild Alaskan salmon, sardines, herring, mackerel, and artichokes, or a high-quality animal-based omega-3 supplement. So that's what we have at Healthwise, a high-quality animal-based omega-3 supplement. It's called Salmon Oil Plus. And most omegas from supplements I've seen only have 2 or maybe 3 parts of the omegas. This one that we have at Healthwise, called Salmon Oil Plus, got 8 parts of the omegas that provide the nourishment from your body. So I take that too. I'm not bragging, I'm just trying to press upon you that at 69 years old, I'm bouncing around like a kid, that this stuff works. I'm the experiment. Not only me, it's tons of other people on this planet that's 50, 60, 70. I seen a lady last night that's 98 years old on the dance floor, doing the hustle, learning how to do the hustle and getting it. People take these things on a regular basis and they bouncing around like kids. Vitamin B are also very important, and low levels of vitamin B are common in patients with depressions, while B supplements have been shown to improve symptoms. So Dr. McCullough said this. This is what I experienced over the 30 years we've been doing Healthwise. Actually, longer than that, but further, in the study of 9,700 vegetarians, including a small number of vegans, men vegetarians were nearly twice as likely to suffer from depression as meat eaters, even after adjusting for a variable like job status, family history, and numbers of children. Vegetarians tend to have low intake of omega-3 fats and B12 and folate, which could affect the depression risk. In the case of floric, it helps your body produce mood-regulating neurotransmitters, including serotonin and dopamine. One 2012 study found people who consumed the most floric had a low risk of depression than those who ate the least. Addressing nutrient deficiency as well as optimize your diet are keys to mental health and should be first-time strategies to treating depression. What you eat can make or break your mood. It's not an exaggeration to say you are what you eat. We've heard this a zillion times. It's the truth. And dietary choices can and do have a significant effect on your mood. Men consuming more than 67 grams of sugar per day were 23% more likely to develop anxiety and depression over the course of 5 years than those who consume sugar consumption with less than 40 grams per day. For instance, so limiting sugar is one strategy to boost your mood. Stop the drugs. That's the number one drug in this country is sugar. Now you see it's leading to depression, anxiety, and all the other stuff we talked about when we first started the show. This will help you support your gut health, the lack of sugar. Because first of all, I never seen a white sugar cane. So what you getting ain't sugar, it's a straight up drug. Another important factor for mental health, eating fermented foods regularly or taking a probiotic supplement can also help towards this end. I've been to the Mediterranean restaurants. Some of them give you this little purple, what they call it, I think is turnip. It's fermented. They've been eating it for years, if not decades, if not centuries, if not millenniums. But it's a source of friendly bacteria. When I was growing up, they used to have these pickle jars. And people was taking the pickles. They know it helped with the acid reflux, but it's a source of what you call it, probiotics. The sauerkraut is a source of probiotics. NEO, TTO, is it with it's a bitter, but it's what the Orientals eat all the time to keep that friendly bacteria up high in your gut. Consider a small study involving adults diagnosed with irritable bowel movements and depression that found the probiotics provided depression relief. At 6 weeks, 64% of the treated group had reduced depression scores compared to 32% of the control group that had a sugar pill. The book, The Happiness Diet, notes some other foods that can affect your mood, such as soda. 38 state troopers use soda to clean their engines because it breaks down grease. I've heard of folks who did experiments where they took a steak, soaked it in some soda, and in 24 hours it completely dissolved that steak. That's how acidic it is. I think they take about, 14 or 16 heaping tablespoons per some of these sodas. The aspartame in many diet sodas contain the amino acid, which may disrupt serotonin production. That's the aspartame that they put. It's more lethal than sugar. On the other hand, a handful of almonds provide 80 grams of magnesium, as mentioned, as a common effect on your brain. A handful of almonds. Now that I didn't know. So we're going to get us some almonds. We got some um, pumpkin seeds. We got some black walnuts. These are raw, so we're going to add some almonds. You know, other thing about almonds, it has all 22 amino acids, which is the building blocks of proteins. That's how these large animals on this planet don't eat meat. They diet fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seed, grass, leaves. It has amino acids in it. And your body take that and make its own protein. We've been duped into thinking we got to eat dead animal parts to get protein. Well, these large animals on part, they ain't listen to the commercials. God protected them. He's going to protect us. Other foods that are good for your mood include dark chocolate. We had this product at Healthwise called cocoa. It's the darkest chocolate. It ain't real sweet, but it's a mood changer. Dark chocolate, bananas, turmeric. You know, I got heavy into turmeric than my mama. Mama died because I heard that they did this experiment and 80% of people got results, but taking 765 milligrams of turmeric per day reversed their dementia and Alzheimer's. Because the article said it's easy to find 100 people in America with dementia and Alzheimer's, but it's hard to find one in India because they eat turmeric breakfast, lunch, and dinner their whole life. It helps breaks up that plaque in the brain, the area that you use for memory and recall. Even organic black coffee. Organic black coffee. Now, that's a new one on me. When I do coffee, my choice is to make it organic. If I don't have organic, I'll take those trace minerals that we got from Aquaman Boost, put in my coffee if I'm out and about. Now, light therapy for depression. Another option that shows promise is light therapy. Full spectrum light therapy is often recommended over antidepressant for the treatment of seasonal affective disorder, SAD, but it may be permissible even for major depressions. Light therapy alone and placebo were both more effective than Prozac for the treatment of moderate to severe depression in an 8-week-long study. Now, I don't know where you get light therapy, but we got Google. And some of the benefits of having Google, find out what places offer light therapy. Further, a study of patients with bipolar disorder who have recurrent major depression, bright white light therapy was also effective in mood and boosting in mood, with 68% achieving a normal mood after 4 to 6 weeks of treatment compared to 22% of those who receive a placebo treatment. Also along these lines is exposure to sunlight, especially at the sun rising and at the sun setting. Is also important, not only because it will help optimize your vitamin D levels, further factors linked to depression, but also because the viscous mechanisms like regulating your rhythms and production of serotonin, which is released in response to sunlight exposure. Then you get into the exercise. See, looking at the sun directly, I know it's like, wow, this is weird. Yes, it's sunrise or sunset. I've heard, this is way out there, y'all, in reading, that this guy, that's all he used. He didn't drink no water, he didn't eat nothing, he just lived off the sun. Every day he would look directly at the sun. It's sunrise, sunset. That's all the nourishment he needed. It's out there. It's so many things that's hidden from us. It's over 4,000 ideals that's been suppressed that make our living on this planet like utopia. But it's free. And the powers that be don't want that, but we are gaining. The more of us who pray and meditate, visualize health and happiness for all of our family and friends. So, exercise, exercise, exercise. Getting those 5 hugs a day is so key, or more than that. Give us a call at 313-366-DIET or 586-757-DIET or 685-32. Come by and visit us at 3807 East 8 Mile. That's between Ryan and DeQuinta, about 3 blocks west of Ryan. Some people say between Taco Bell and Long John Silver. Hopefully you'll be able to find us easy real soon. We're making some changes. I said it. I'm happy. And I want you to be happy. To press upon you, God got you. And it works. God's methods work. All of these supplements we talk about, God made. Try them first. Understand those and be an example for those. If you want to change the world, change yourself. Peace and love, y'all. Thanks for listening and tuning in. No anytime.